Man, if you're anything like me, you've probably had one of those weeks. It might have been college, it might have been last week, I promise you, where you open up the cabinet and you're looking for something to eat and you've got saltine crackers, peanut butter, and this. Well, I've got something special for this today. Are you ready? So I promise you, cold ramen is probably one of our favorite dishes in our house. And the fun behind it is you could literally take one of these. Maybe your roommate moved out and left you with the worst flavor on the planet. So what do? Well, the first thing is throw away this stupid packet. This is like 1,600 milligrams of sodium, so off you go. Do not use that stuff, okay? You can buy ramen noodles that are in nice, pretty bags and so on, but you know what? Sometimes for cost, this is the stuff you've got in your cabinet. So we're gonna put it to use today. We're gonna show you a great recipe that you can do vegan, you can do vegetarian, you can add meat too, but the base of it is exactly what you think it is. Cold ramen, it's easy and it's delicious. So let's get started. All right, so right out of the gate, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start getting our veggies ready. So with this, I top it with scallions, green onions, tomatoes, and cucumber. You can add green beans, edamame, you can add meats, proteins, all kinds of things. And then we finish it with a soft boiled egg. So super, super nice, just a silky yolk that's just still kind of like pudding. It's delicious. So we're gonna go ahead, break out our mandolin. And the reason I'm breaking this out is because I want these perfect little slices of cucumber. I've kind of got it standing up on the side here to show you A, don't let your fingers get anywhere near it, and B, how cool is this thing? So if you've been paying attention to our social media channels, you'll notice that one of us was on Netflix recently. And that was the first time I ever used a mandolin because I was going to be making pickles, quick pickles actually, Asian quick pickles, speaking of. How cool is that? And so I wanted to do them and have them perfectly sliced. Of course, you can't have perfect slices if you don't cut them perfectly. So a knife on a cooking show or a mandolin, you know which way I went. Okay. So this is pretty basic stuff here, honestly. We're just gonna go ahead, cut the tomatoes in half. We've got our slices of cucumbers. I'm gonna pop back here in just a second and we're gonna go ahead and make a little marinade for the cucumbers and get those things almost pickling, if you will. So I'll see you back here in just a second. Okay, to go into a couple of the other ingredients here real fast so you understand just how inexpensive it is. You may not have tomatoes and cucumbers at the house, but if you had to go out and get soy sauce, everybody has soy sauce in their house. You've got packets, you've got jugs, you've got whatever it is that you have, right? We've got these cool little rice seasonings here. You can pick that up for a couple of dollars. Sesame oil, a couple of bucks. Rice wine vinegar, a couple of bucks. So realistically, if you had 10 bucks into this entire thing, that would be a lot. And you can actually make 4 portions. I'm gonna do 2, because this is probably gonna be my lunch. But the idea behind it is you can put a portion out that everybody will absolutely love. You could probably reuse some things in your refrigerator from your leftovers. Hey, imagine that. And do it for like 2 bucks. 2 bucks a plate. This is great. So, first things first, we're gonna go ahead, this is brand new rice vinegar as a matter of fact. We're gonna go ahead and put a tablespoon of rice wine vinegar and a tablespoon of sesame oil in with our cucumbers. That's their marinade. Gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, and that will be that. We're gonna let them sit off to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and get started on our eggs. All right, hot plate is out, pot's on. It's filled a little bit more than halfway with water, so this way when the egg is in there, it gives it a little bit of a buffer. Make sure you use hot tap water to get it started. One of the biggest misconceptions is start with cold water and it's somehow gonna boil faster. Mathematically, that is impossible. A watch pot, however, will never boil, so we're gonna move on and start making our sauce. But one thing, if you're using a hot plate or you're working around a stove, handles in. Somebody hits this, that water goes on them, on you, on the floor, on the dog, whatever. So always keep your handles in. All right, so what I'm gonna do is use the whites of the scallion, I've already got some in there, to flavor the sauce for the noodles. So the whites are the most oniony part. The green parts, of course, are gonna be the garnish. So we're just gonna go ahead, drop those puppies in there. All right, now for the sauce. It's pretty easy stuff, honestly. It's tablespoon, tablespoon, tablespoon. So we're gonna go back to the sesame oil. Do yourself a favor and don't put too much. I know that sounds crazy, right? You're like, oh, come on, it's gonna taste better. More is not better with sesame oil. It will actually overtake your dish. Then we go back to the rice wine vinegar. Go to the soy sauce. No, I did not steal this. They actually had it on sale at a store and I'm like, oh man, we could look cool with that. Okay, I'm not doing voices today. 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Gives it that umami, gives it that saltiness it needs. The rice wine vinegar has got a great balancing flavor for it. And then just to help us out a little bit, tablespoon of sugar. Mix it up, let it rest. We do this before the eggs so that it has time to really marry the flavors, get a nice marinade going. It allows the sugar to break down in here. So we're gonna put this on the counter behind me, come back and stir it every once in a while. Got a little steam here. We're gonna have hot water here in just a second, so I'll come right back. Thanks. Can you hear it, see it? We've got us a full boil. So no pot of water goes unseasoned, right? That's the rule. So we're gonna go ahead and knock this down to just get it off of this high boil so that it doesn't beat up the eggs in the bottom. The last thing you wanna do is have your eggshells crack in there. Okay, and as soon as the eggs go in, we're going with 6 minutes. Do your fingers a favor. Use a utensil to put them down in there, and then just keep it handy so you can use it to get them out. We're also gonna set up an ice bath, so when the eggs come out, we can take them down and get them to room temperature quickly to stop the cooking. So again, 6-minute timer, and we're off to the races. I'll come back at 6 minutes. Okay, timer went off. It is time to pull some eggs out. You wanna get them into the ice bath just as quickly as you can so that they stop cooking. But you're probably gonna use this ice bath for other things too, just like we're gonna use this one pot for other things. And I'll cover that here in just a second. We'll get these in here. So the quicker you get them cold, the better the yolk's gonna be. We've already got a pot of hot water. We're gonna crank it back up, put in our delicious noodles. Don't do that usual thing like you used to do where you crack it all up and just turn it into like little bits and pieces. You want these noodles intact. So we're gonna leave them whole. All right, so the ice bath is multi-purposed. So if you decide you wanna put some extra vegetables on there besides just the cucumbers and the tomatoes, maybe you wanna do green beans, maybe you wanna do edamame, broccoli, any of those green vegetables that are really, really good, you wanna go ahead and parboil them and then blanch them as well in the same ice water. The reason is you're gonna get that bright pop of color. You're gonna take a little bit of the rawness out of them so they're still great and delicious and crunchy, but they're not quite as raw. So the color and everything is gonna happen, but you've gotta get them into this ice bath. So we use this to boil everything. Same pot, same water, same everything. We use this to cool everything. Same bowl, same ice, same everything. Make sense? Easy, I promise you. So we're going about 3 minutes or so on these. Pull them out, then the water's bye-bye. We'll put the plate together. It's really that simple. See you back here. Okay, noodles are done. Things are gonna go really quick, but number one thing is turn off your hot plate. The last thing you wanna do is walk past it and burn your elbow because you're trying to do some things. So hot plate is off. We've got our pot of noodles. The water is now done. We don't need to cook anything else. I've got a colander over here, strainer, whatever you call it in your house, get it. Okay, put the pot back over here for now. Now here's the cool thing. Reach in, grab your eggs, put them back in the little bowl, and then we're gonna put this ice water to work. The last thing you want is the ice itself to go onto your ramen. We want cold ramen, we don't want wet ramen. So we're gonna go ahead and pour the water to cool it down as quickly as we can. All right, mix it around a little bit. Oh yeah, that's perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. All right, we're gonna let that strain off a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and move this stuff out of the way, and it's plating time. So one more quick pause, and we're putting it all together. Okay, I've got water running over here, which means it's time to peel the egg. So a couple things have happened here. I went ahead and I moved the noodles over into the ice bowl now that they're nice and cool. Really wrung them out a little bit, try to make sure I get as much of the excess moisture out as possible. So the eggs are over here. I've gone ahead and start peeling. So what you do is just tap, 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 tap. You don't want to do anything big and crazy. This is not a hard-boiled egg. This is a 6-minute egg. Tap, 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 tap. And you'll notice it just gets all these little fractures. Well, how do you get under those fractures and not destroy your egg? A little bit of water. I've got my strainer down here to catch the eggshells because they're not good for garbage disposals. They're not good for plumbing. They're just not good for any of that stuff. They're good for potted plants. So either way, we're going to go ahead and just drop them down into the strainer as we slowly just chip away. Chip, chip, chip. Do your best not to take any of the egg with you, with the shell. What we're doing with the water is we're creating kind of a little bit of a lubricant between the membrane and the egg. And then you just slowly peel and peel and peel. This is probably the hardest part, but it's not. Just take your time. Once you get a little run going, you see we just kind of got my thumb in here and it's just going. once you can get underneath that membrane and kind of get it moving, it just keeps moving. And you get all that in one shot. Don't rush it. You'll rip the egg. I'm telling you. Just keep on trucking. And we're off. There we go. I'll do that one here in just a second. And then what you'll find is that when you cut them open, you've got this beautiful, soft egg yolk. When you cut into that in your bowl of ramen, you're gonna lose your mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this last egg, cut them up in half, get ready to start plating. Hit the pause button here real fast, and I'll come right back at you. All right, are you guys ready to plate? Because I'm ready to eat. So I wanted to show you something kind of neat. I don't know if you remember this from your childhood or not, but you would try to peel an apple or a potato and do it in one long peel. This is about 3/4 of one egg. So as you get better and better at it, they're gonna come out better and better. I put my two best up here. You're gonna have some that are a little bit of a fail. It's okay. You're gonna eat them and everybody's gonna enjoy it. It's fine. For presentation purposes, if you're trying to spoil somebody or show them your cooking skills, of course, you're gonna give them the two prettiest ones and then you save the other for you. Totally cool. So the noodles are super, super dry. They're gonna kind of stick together a little bit, and that is okay. Something that you'll see in a lot of kitchens is people put oil on pasta and things to try and keep it from sticking. Do not do that. Do not be even remotely convinced that that's a good idea. The sauce or dressing or whatever you put on that pasta will not stick to an oily noodle. So the fact that they're a little sticky and a little dry just means that this awesome stuff is gonna do its job. Give it an extra little stir. All right. So now it's all about just making it look pretty. So we're gonna come over here, grab some cucumbers, all right? Because people eat with their eyes first. So we're gonna go ahead, line this side up with some cucumbers. We're gonna grab some tomatoes, lay them out over here, get some different colors, mix it up, make it party, all right? Sorry, throwing you a little extra country there, I apologize. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and dress it before we put the egg in. Super, super cool, right? The egg is gonna look super pretty on top. The dressing is gonna be a lot of flavoring underneath. And just drizzle. All right, get a little bit up there. I'm not putting any on the cucumbers because they already have a similar type of dressing on them already, so they're good to go as is. Okay, got a little spoon out. I'm gonna make this a little bit easier, and then I'm gonna show you the last two pieces of the garnish. And then we're off to the races. Or sorry, off to the eating. Let's be a little more specific there, right? Yeah. Okay. The yolk's nice and runny. Gosh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so two things are going on here. We've got those cool little bias cut scallions. So they're gonna kind of go over by the tomatoes, a little in the middle, right? Make them look kind of cool. And then this stuff, right? So say it with me, you ready? Furikake. Furikake. Yes, I know, it's the coolest thing in the world. What it is it's basically, it's nori, so seaweed that's dried, and sesame seeds. But it adds this awesome character to the dish. It's authentic, it's just amazing. So make sure you get it on your eggs nicely. Put a little around the middle. And this is something that you can actually put a little bit over here on your cucumbers because again, they have dressing on them, they have a little bit of salt and pepper. They've got a lot going on, but this stuff absolutely pops. So think about it. Ingredients, $10-ish, ramen soup in every cabinet in America probably. Eggs, most people have eggs at their house. You could put this together on a random Tuesday night if you want to do a meatless night or just have some friends over and do it on a budget. You're going to feed everybody for about 10 bucks, but think about it. Once you buy some of these ingredients, you're going to use them 10, 15 times. So that number continuously goes down as you perfect your craft and get better and better at making this. So I hope you enjoyed it. Show you a quick close-up picture here, and then this is going into my belly. So don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of the social media channels at Bearded Home Cook with Facebook and Instagram. Of course, thebeardedhomecook.com is our website. There's little things on there, tips and tricks and videos, links to our YouTube channel, The Bearded Home Cook. And of course, if you haven't heard already, I did make an Asian dish on Best Leftovers Ever on Netflix, and it is a 100% poll winner. It is coming up. However, our next episode is that breakfast one that you all voted on last time. So we've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you. Make sure you stay engaged with us on social media, and I hope you enjoy. Please tag me if you make this. I'd love to see your rendition of it with whatever else you put on there, the broccoli, the edamame, whatever it might be. If you've got some leftover chicken from last night, hey, why not? put it on there as well. And let me see what you do. Take care, guys. Thank you.